Here, the connection between the foregut, midgut, and hindgut with the yolk sac, as we know from our previous classes of embryology, that it goes on decreasing and decreasing. And you can see a wide connection decreasing very much. As it decreases, now this is named as vitelo-intestinal duct. So, if you see this becomes the vitelo-intestinal duct, or famously called as vitelline duct. Normally, this vitelo-intestinal duct disappears completely during the sixth week. The vitelline duct persists in approximately 2 to 3% of adults and is known as Meckel's diverticulum. You all know Meckel's diverticulum from the knowledge of the gross anatomy. So 2 to 3% of adults, this one persists as Meckel's diverticulum. And as you can see, if this is Meckel's diverticulum, it is attached to the anti-mesenteric border of ileum. This is ileum. You definitely know that this is mesentery. Over here, it will be mesentery through which the ileum and the small intestine will be attached to the posterior abdominal wall. If this is mesenteric border, this is bound to be anti-mesenteric border. So it is attached to the anti-mesenteric border of the ileum about 2 to 3 feet. So this is called as Meckel's diverticulum. फिर से बोल देता हूँ, vitelo-intestinal duct, connection between yolk sac and midgut goes on reducing and should actually disappear. In certain cases, a small part of it persists, and that is called as Meckel's diverticulum. One part is Meckel's diverticulum. There can be other anomaly also. But the vitelline duct persists in approximately 2 to 3% of adults and is known as Meckel's diverticulum, attached to the anti-mesenteric border, as you can see, about 2 to 3 feet proximal to the ileocecal junction. Usually 2 inches long, and as you can see, the caliber is almost same as that of ileum. The inside is almost same as that of ileum. The tip, as you can see here, is attached by a fibrous band to the umbilicus, as you can see, umbilicus, or any other abdominal viscera, or maybe any other abdominal viscera. Tip can be attached by a fibrous band to the umbilicus. You can see here the tip of the vitelo-intestinal duct, which is remaining, which we named as Meckel's diverticulum, is attached to the umbilicus. It can be attached to other abdominal viscera also. I hope you have understood till now. Unusually, as we are seeing, the vitelline duct remains patent with the umbilicus as a fistula. This is another problem. The vitelline duct पूरे का पूरा patent है, यहाँ connected है, और वो patent भी है. Meckel's diverticulum में patent नहीं था, यहाँ fibrous band बन गया था. What are the other options? One, it can be patent with the umbilicus, and through which obviously, if this is the connection, then the fecal matter and excreta can pass through this towards the umbilicus. Where the fistula ends blindly, a cyst can form. It can end blindly also like this, and then there can be a cyst, and this cyst is called as vitelline cyst. And third is sometimes a cord, like we saw, a fibrous cord sometimes remains as the original vaginal duct, and this continues as a hazard around which the mature gut can become obstructed. Sometimes this half can be cord, sometimes the whole thing can be a cord. Obviously a cord होगा तो intestine small intestine specifically के part को वो obstruct कर सकता है. So क्या हो सकता है vitelo-intestinal duct का? Ideally उसको disappear होना है, नहीं हुआ मैकल्स डाइवर्टिकुलम बन सकता है। मैकल्स डाइवर्टिकुलम भी नहीं बना तो वेटलैंड फिस्टुला बन सकता है। दोनों तरफ से बंद हो गया, बीच में जगह खाली रह गई, फ्लूइड रहेगा उसमें, वेटलैंड सिस्ट बन सकता है। पूरे का पूरा ही अगर कॉर्ड बन गया, जो इसमें फिगर में नहीं दिखाया गया है, so that can be there, and that fibrous cord is is a problem for the small intestine, as if it is whole fibrous, small fibrous can also create a problem, but if it is whole fibrous, there are more chances of obstruction. So these are the problems: vitelline fistula, vitelline cyst, vitelline cord. You can see here, this is the vitelline cord, the whole thing becoming cord like. Meckel's diverticulum, and here Meckel's diverticulum with a vitelline cord both. So this is what you should be knowing. Any type of persistent vitelline duct may contain ectopic gastric mucosa and pancreatic acini, causing intestinal ulceration and bleeding. This is another problem. So please remember, you should be knowing what is a vitelline duct or vitelo-intestinal duct, when it should disappear, and what are the problems which it can cause. There are various degrees of persistence of vitelline duct. As we saw, there can be vitelline fistula, there can be vitelline cyst, there can be vitelline cord, Meckel's diverticulum, and the combinations of the above may also occur. Persistent vitelline duct of any degree may contain ectopic gastric. Okay, now let's see another condition. You should prepare the intestinal vitelline because it is important. You can have a short note on it, or maybe some similar type of questions. Exam fellows, if you see, another important condition, exam fellows और ओम्फेलोसिल कुछ बाहर निकल रहा है ना, यू नो एक्सोप्थेल्मोस पता है आपको, जो गॉइटर exomphalos. Again, please remember, it is an important thing. Important thing. You need to remember that. Then, if you see, sorry, while the gut fails to, when the gut fails to return to the abdominal cavity, it remains in the extra embryonic coelom of the umbilical cord. हमने देखा था during the development of midgut, क्योंकि एब्डोमेन डेवलपिंग एब्डोमिनल कैविटी छोटा होता है तो बाहर निकल जाता है, एंड देन इट कम्स इनसाइड बैक. जहां पे भी द गट midgut developing midgut fails to return to the abdominal cavity, it remains in the extra embryonic coelom of the umbilical cord. This presents at birth with an amount of the midgut, as you can see, outside the abdomen, and as you can see is closed in a sac within the umbilical cord composed of amnion. पूरा small intestine आप देख रहे हैं, extra amniotic coelom में चला गया है, वापस नहीं आ पा रहा है अंदर. A part of midgut. So this, this is exomphalos. Just a second. Okay. No, it is not a tumor. It is not a tumor. Exomphalos is not a tumor. Part of the GIT, that is midgut, is not able to come back into the abdominal cavity, which should have and is remaining in the extraabdominal coelom. So it is exomphalos or omphalocele. Let us see a similar condition. फिर हम दोनों का difference देखेंगे. Similar condition is called as gastroschisis. As you can see, यहाँ पे भी intestine बाहर है. Unrelated abnormality, but looks similar. Here there is a para-umbilical lesion where the anterior abdomen has failed to close. There is a para-umbilical lesion and the anterior abdominal wall has failed to close. क्योंकि anterior abdominal wall failed to close है इसलिए वो बाहर है. Consequently, the bowel is or the midgut or the small intestine is not contained in the sac and so usually matted and adhered. पिछले वाले में आपने देखा होगा it was in a sac and because of being in a sac it is not matted and adhered. इसके अंदर it is not contained in the sac, so it is usually matted and adhered, as you can see here. Matty है और adhered भी है, दोनों चीजें हैं. So that is important about gastroschisis. Omphalocele, seeing it again, is herniation of abdominal viscera through a large umbilical ring. There is actually a defect of lateral pit mesoderm. हमने देखा था lateral pit mesoderm के अंदर से दो चीजें निकलती हैं, सोमेटोप्लोरिक और स्प्लैंक्नोप्लोरिक. स्प्लैंक्नोप्लोरिक विसरा बनाती है और सोमेटोप्लोरिक वॉल बनाती है. So this is that wall. Defect of lateral pit mesoderm. So viscera is covered by peritoneal and amniotic membrane. 50% have other serious congenital or chromosomal abnormalities. Omphalocele, that is exomphalos. सेकंड जो हमने देखा था ये देखिए मेम्ब्रेन के साथ कैविटी में है और ये देखिए दिस इज लाइंग आउटसाइड विदाउट मेम्ब्रेन विदाउट कवरिंग and that is how it becomes matty and adhered. Here there is a ruptured abdominal wall or defective abdominal wall. To the right of the umbilicus, no covering membranes, viscera bath directly in the amniotic fluid, and this is less commonly associated with other anomalies. So these were the two things. Again saying, this is omphalocele, this is gastroschisis. One is with membrane and cavity, another is without membrane without cavity. One is with 50% serious congenital chromosomal abnormality, another is less commonly associated with other anomalies. So that is omphalocele and gastroschisis. That was about the midgut. Now coming to hindgut. Last part in the GIT is hindgut, the lower part. If you see here, this is the initial stage of development and a small allantois is seen here. ये yolk sac है, ये amniotic cavity है, initial stage 16 days as a small diverticulum projecting from the caudal end of the yolk sac into the connecting stalk. This is allantois. These allantois that you are seeing with further development and folding, then this will develop cranial end, then this will develop caudal end, then lateral it will develop, and cranially it will fold, and caudal it will fold, and then there will be a change. So with caudal fold, and let us see what is there on the caudal side. If you see the caudal side, then this is allantois जो enter हुआ था. So this is allantois. Here this is allantois. Here this is allantois. So where the allantois is there, this part is going to form the foregut, midgut, and hindgut. So related to hindgut is allantois. Related to the hindgut is allantois. I hope you are understanding this. Just a second. Related to this is allantois. Hindgut is allantois. Now this is the hindgut. If you see hindgut, this was the hindgut, and hindgut has an relation with this allantois. This is hindgut coming down and down and down, and here there is a cloacal membrane. जैसा हमने ऊपर देखा था, procaudal plate and buccopharyngeal membrane for the oral cavity, where there was a junction between the ectodermal development and mesoendodermal development. Here also you can see likewise, this is endodermal hindgut, blue colored, and this is outside, which is proctodiome. So this is called as cloacal membrane or proctodiome. Tail end पे proctodiome, cranial end पे stomatodiome. Stomatodiome means oral cavity. Proctodiome means the external part or the last part of the hindgut where it is opening into the anal canal. So this is proctodiome. Here there is a cloacal membrane which also ruptures. There was a buccopharyngeal membrane which also ruptures. With the previous rupture of the buccopharyngeal membrane, the oral cavity is connected to the rest of the GIT. Here the anal canal, with the rupture of the cloacal membrane, the anal canal will be connected to the rest of the hindgut. So this is how it moves. Let us see what is written. Now for this development to happen, this is allantois and this is hindgut. बीच में जो part दिख रहा है, ये part this part is nothing but it is a septum, urorectal septum. This is going to form rectum. So this is called as rectal. और ये वाला part के अंदर अपना urinary bladder और related part बनेगा. So this part, which is like a notch, it is a solid thing, and that solid thing is separating the allantois and the cloaca from the hindgut. And this notched thing is called as urorectal septum. नाम भी लॉजिकल है. यहाँ पे रेक्टम बनने वाला है तो रेक्टम, यहाँ पे यूरो बनने वाला है. हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में देखेंगे डेवलपमेंट ऑफ यूरिनरी सिस्टम. So this is urorectal septum. The urorectal septum separates the hindgut from the allantois. Quite logical. फिगर में भी दिख रहा है. The urorectal septum, ये ग्रे कलर वाला urorectal septum है, is separating the anterior blue colored thing, which is allantois, from the posterior blue colored thing, which is hindgut. So the urorectal septum separates the hindgut from the allantois. It grows towards the cloacal membrane. You can see it is growing towards the cloacal membrane, and it is derived from mesoderm at the junction between the connecting stalk and yolk sac. So this is mesodermal in origin. The urorectal septum is mesodermal and is separating the anteriorly placed cavity, which is related to urinary system, and the posteriorly placed luminous structure, which is actually hindgut. "26 days after formation of tail fold, the allantois and the hindgut, as you can see, allantois is also opening into a common chamber. The hindgut is also opening into a common chamber, and that common chamber is called as cloaca. So ये वाला part है, this is called as cloaca. This allantois is also opening into cloaca, and this hindgut is also opening into cloaca. The cloacal membrane separates the cloaca from the proctodium. This is proctodium, this is cloaca. And दोनों के जंक्शन में जो membrane है, it is called as cloacal membrane. Cloacal membrane. Okay, diagram. You can see this diagram for maybe 10 seconds, and then we move on. Okay. Moving further. Now, what? Now is this. The urorectal septum. Can you see? यहाँ पे urorectal septum देखिए. This is the urorectal septum, and this is the proctodium lined by ectoderm. ये आगे जा रहा है और आगे जा रहा है और आगे जा रहा है. यहाँ पे जाके रुक जाएगा. It will stop it once it reaches this cloacal membrane and the ectodermal lining. This brown colored thing is ectoderm. This blue colored thing is lined by endoderm. The urorectal septum grows towards the cloacal membrane, as you can see, but does not fuse with it. थोड़ा सा बाकी है. It is derived from mesoderm at the junction between connecting stalk and the yolk sac. So the local mesoderm. During the 7th week, and from 26 days now we are at 7th week, the cloacal membrane disappears, and as you can see, now the cloacal membrane के पास पहुंच गया है septum. The cloacal membrane disappears, exposing a ventral opening called as urogenital sinus opening and a dorsal opening called as anal opening. So that is how the lower part, there is urorectal septum. Anterior to it is urogenital sinus opening. Posterior to it, it is anal opening. Please remember, आपने urogenital triangle देखा है पेरिनियम में और anal triangle देखा है. ये उसका embryological basis है. Anteriorly placed, as you can see here, is urogenital triangle. Posteriorly placed, as you can see here, is anal triangle. The tip of the urorectal septum. The tip of the urorectal septum. Just a second. Separating the two openings forms perineal body. So this tip of the urorectal septum is the developmental basis or origin of the perineal body. Perineal body. Just a second. So during the 7th week, the cloacal membrane disappears, and there are two openings: anteriorly urogenital triangle, posteriorly anal triangle. In between is the perineal body, जो आपको पढ़ा है अपने ग्रॉस एनाटॉमी में. तो perineal body कहाँ से आया? So development basis is urorectal septum. So the urorectal septum, which is placed here, as you can see, the tip of it is forming perineal body, a very, very important structure in the perineum, more so for the female for the parturition or delivery of the baby. Okay, moving further, anteriorly urogenital sinus we saw, posteriorly rectum, this is rectum, and the cranial part of anal canal. Anal canal is a small space, as you know, 3.8 centimeter, but very, very important. and the cranial part of it is here, and the caudal part of it is the cranial part of it is forming or is situated with the rectal part, and the lower part is ectodermal in origin. Anal canal is a junction of both. Seventh week, it fuses with the cloacal membrane, urogenital membrane. This जो हमने आगे वाला triangle है, urogenital membrane. It forms superficial transversus perineal muscles, bulbospongious muscle, ischiocavernosus muscle, as they are all attached somewhere near the perineal body. And then posterior membrane, which is anal membrane, helps in formation of external anal sphincter. दोनों जगह पे मसल्स बन रहे हैं, दोनों जगह पे मैकेनिज्म बन रहा है to control the anal activity and the related perineal activity. Perineal body is, you already know, the middle portion is perineal body. The proctodome or this membrane, it ruptures at the end of 8th week. ये नाम प्रोक्टोडोम पढ़ रहा है, इससे आपको पता होगा ग्रॉस एनाटॉमी में प्रोक्टोस्कोप. Proctoscope is an instrument which enters the proctodome, and that is why through the proctoscope we can see the anal canal and the terminal part of rectum, and even we can diagnose piles, or maybe if there are fissures or there are any other important pathology in the region of the anal canal or rectum. So that instrument is called as proctoscope. उसका नाम कहाँ से proctoscope पड़ा? इससे, क्योंकि ये proctodome है, proctodome में enter होता है. Again, let me tell you, the lower part of the GIT has the communication with proctodome. The cranial part of the GIT will have communication with the stomodome, or somewhere written stomatodome, which is oral cavity. Okay, I hope I have made myself clear. You have seen this in gross anatomy, nothing new. The anterior part is urogenital triangle. The posterior part is anal triangle. In between is this perineum. Central part of the in between is the perineal body at the junction of the anterior urogenital triangle and posterior anal triangle. This is perineal body. This is perineal body. Okay. Now talking about the urorectal septum, it is composed of two folds. Urorectal septum, एक बार और देख लो. Two folds. One is called a superior midline fold of Tornax, and second is paired right and left lateral Rathke folds. So fold of Tornax and Rathke folds. Tornax midline है और Rathke paired है right and left. You can see ये fold middle में आ रहा है, that is Tornax fold. Laterally ये fold बन रहा है, this is urorectal septum. It is cut and it is shown. Just then this middle part will be Tornax fold, and the lateral part, two lateral folds are called as Rathke fold. I hope the things are clear. And this is transverse section of hindgut. Tornax fold and the Rathke folds, they fuse to form urorectal septum. You can see here they have not fused, here they are fused. They are fusing to form the proper urorectal septum. And there is this anteriorly urogenital body, posteriorly anal membrane, anal opening, and in between there is perineal body. Okay, so this is about the folds. Now development of anal canal. The last part, if we see, this is rectum, this is anal canal. ऊपर का पार्ट का कलर अलग है, लोअर पार्ट का कलर अलग है. Superior 2/3 of the anal canal is derived from hindgut. Please remember, hindgut, last part of GID, but not the terminal part. Terminal part is anal canal. So last part fully formed from the there is anal canal, but anal canal is derived from both. Please remember, hindgut, that is endodermal, and the outer placed proctoderm, which is ectodermal. So superior 2/3 of anal canal is from the hindgut. Inferior 1/3, as you can see, is blue colored, is from the anal pit, and the junction between them is called as pectinate line. So this is how anal canal: superior 2/3, inferior 1/3, superior 2/3 from hindgut, inferior 1/3 from the proctoderm, which is formed from anal pit, and the junction is junction between the developing hindgut and the developing proctoderm for the development of anal canal is called as pectinate line. आपने ग्राफ्स में पढ़ा होगा उसका importance. Pectinate line. Superior 2/3, as you know, from hindgut. So the blood vessel will be different. Superior rectal artery from inferior mesenteric artery, and inferior 1/3 is, as we saw, from the proctoderm. So the arteries will change. Nerve will change. Inferior rectal artery from internal pudendal and sensory, general sensory branches. So this is what is a pectinate line, and this is the superior part derived from the hindgut. उसके अंदर pectinate line के superiorly, if you see, these are anal columns, and in these columns there will be anal valves and anal sinuses. बराबर. So ये वाला part जो है it derived from hindgut है, और lower part है, as you can see, is derived from proctoderm, and there is another line also in between, which you must have learned through gross anatomy, that is called as white line of Hilton. So the pectinate line is important because it is at the junction of hindgut, developing hindgut, and developing proctoderm. Here you can see this is anal canal, pectinate line, और ये सब कॉलम बने हुए हैं और sinuses हैं. This you must have learned from the gross anatomy. So the development of anal canal is very easy. Superior 2/3 is derived from hindgut. So the innervation is autonomic nervous system. Arterial supply is also a branch of the inferior mesenteric artery, which is superior rectal artery. Superior rectal artery, branch of inferior mesenteric artery. Venous drainage is from superior rectal vein, a branch of inferior mesenteric vein, which is going to form portal vein. You remember. Lymphatic drainage is via inferior mesenteric lymph nodes. So superior 2/3 of anal canal derived from the, as you know, derived from the hindgut. Inferior 1/3, proctoderm, somatic. So the nerve is also somatic, inferior rectal nerve. Arterial supply is also different. It is from the inferior rectal artery, which are branches of pudendal. Venous drainage is also somatic, different from the inferior rectal vein, a branch of the internal pudendal vein, which is tributary of the, it is written branch wrongly, but a tributary of the internal iliac vein. Lymphatic drainage is via superficial inguinal lymph nodes. Clear distinction hai, please understand. That is how anal canal is important. Superior 2/3, inferior 1/3. Superior 2/3, let us see once again. Innervation, autonomic nervous system. Arterial supply, Suprarectal artery. Venous drainage, suprarectal vein, branch of inferior mesenteric vein, which is going to form portal vein. Lymphatic drainage, inferior mesenteric nodes, lymph nodes. यहाँ देखिए, lymphatic drainage is superficial inguinal group of lymph nodes. Innervation, inferior rectal nerve. Arterial supply, inferior rectal artery branches of pudendal. Venous drainage is from the inferior rectal vein, a branch of the internal pudendal vein, means a tributary, and then a tributary of the internal lymph vein. Other than the portal vein, at most of the points we speak or we comment on the draining channel as tributary. Okay, so that was anal canal. The urorectal septum, as we saw, is composed of these two folds: Tourniquet fold midline and Rathke fold laterally. They fuse, they form urorectal septum. अब ये अगर नहीं हुआ तो क्या है, वो प्रॉब्लम है. And this is urogenital opening, perineal body, anal opening. This is how it is formed: anterior urogenital opening, perineum, and anal opening. This is triangle. This is inverted triangle, and this is perineum. Defects in the fold of the Tourniquet fold and the Rathke fold. Defects in the fusion fold results in various types of urorectal fistula. Please remember, various types of urorectal fistula. You can see, अगर इधर पे कम्युनिकेशन चालू रह गया तो क्या होगा, ये इधर का राथके फोल्ड राइट साइड वाला फ्यूज नहीं हुआ, तो there will be a communication between the urogenital sinus and rectum. Depending on the level of the defect and the sex of the embryo, the fistula may be rectovesical, rectovesical, rectourethral, rectovaginal, rectovestibular, anoperineal, etc. Various types of fistula. Communication, abnormal communication between the GIT and the urinary system. ऊपर के लेवल पे होता है तो रेक्टोवेसाइकल, वेसाइकल मींस ब्लैडर, यूरिनरी ब्लैडर. नीचे के लेवल पे होता है तो रेक्टोयूरेथ्रल. वजाइना के साथ कम्युनिकेट कर जाता है इन फीमेल, रेक्टोवजाइनल. लाइकवाइज इन फीमेल, रेक्टोवेस्टिबुलर. Anoperineal, if there is a problem. Anoperineal is also a type of fistula where the anal canal is communicating directly to the perineum, with the perineum. So these are the defects in fusion of the Tourniquet fold and the Rathke fold. Anal canal, we saw development of anal canal quickly at the end of 8th week after rupture of cloacal membrane. The proliferation of the surrounding ectoderm, यहीं से proliferate होना चालू हो गया है. Proliferation of surrounding ectoderm, it occludes or closes the anal opening. During the 9th week, the opening is recanalized. 9th week. Thus, the terminal part of anal canal is ectodermal in origin, हमने देखा, lower 1/3, and is supplied by the inferior rectal artery. The junction between ectoderm and endoderm, which is the hindgut and proctoderm, is called as pectinate line. याद रखना, pectinate line is junction between hindgut and the developing proctoderm. Another type of problem which can occur in colon is Hirschsprung disease. There is a congenital absence of parasympathetic ganglia in the colon. Now you know, for the moment this is required. For moment of GIT, we require this parasympathetic ganglia. But if there is a congenital absence, then this is a neural crest migration defect, and it varies in extent. 80% involves sigmoid colon or rectum, sigmoid colon and rectum. 3% involve the whole colon. So this is Hirschsprung disease. As you can see, there is a neonatal intestinal obstruction. क्योंकि है ही नहीं, गैंग्लियन ही नहीं है, पैरासिम्पेटिक गैंग्लियन ही नहीं है, मूवमेंट नहीं होगा, ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन हो जाएगा, and there is a neonatal intestinal obstruction. Other than that, there can be atresia of GIT, stenosis of GIT, duplication of GIT. So there's double GIT developing. So all this can occur because of various embryological defects. You all know umbilical fistula, Meckel's diverticulum, vitelline sinus, vitelline cyst, vitelline ligament, Meckel's diverticulum. Not only that, another important abnormality is that this proctodium should open up. There should be a communication between hindgut and proctodium. Cloacal membrane rupture होता है, दोनों में opening communicate होता है. ये अगर नहीं होता है, you can say this is anal pit. This is anal pit और ये opening नहीं खुला. Then this is called as imperforate anus, and this has to be surgically corrected. This is imperforate anus. Other abnormalities include a rectal vaginal fistula and a rectal urethral fistula. So these are the various types of anomalies. You can see here this is imperforate anus, क्योंकि यहाँ communication ही नहीं हुआ है. That was all that I wanted to tell you regarding the development of hindgut. Regarding development of hindgut. So next time we will take up the development of urinary system. Kidney, again, very, very important. Kidney, ureter, and bladder, and later part of urethra. The kidney is the foremost and important amongst them. Any question? Today we didn't had any breakout room. Next time we will have breakout room. बहुत दिन हो गए थे इसलिए मैंने नहीं दिया because I don't know whether you have studied these things or not. But now because I have taken one lecture, there is some basis. इसके ऊपर से मैं next time तुमको breakout room में भेजूंगा. Any question? Okay. So if there are none, then thank you. Thank you all. Wish you all the best.